and you have lost your marbles, goes to Anselmi Baud, whoever that is. 11 hours ago, he said, evolution isn't an origin story, though. I find this a lot in the debates I've been doing lately. They say evolution doesn't deal with the origin of life and the origin of stars, because I point out the 6 different meanings of evolution. And they've now run scared saying, oh no, it's only dealing with after life gets here. No, your theory covers the whole thing. Anselmi, whatever that is. He said it's an explanation of the development of species. You are way off the mark. Oh, really? I don't think so. I think we're right on the mark, and that's what's got them running. See, Darwin counted 14 varieties of finches on the Galapagos Islands, and he realized they all came from a common ancestor called a bird. But then he wrote his book, Charles Darwin, The Origin of Species. You talked about this as not having to do with origin, so let me try to help you. And if you lost your marbles, I found them. Here they are. I'm going to share them with you, okay?
That's right, put those on.
Darwin said, it's a truly wonderful fact that all animals and all plants throughout all time and space should be related to each other. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You see 14 kinds of birds, and that makes you think all birds are related to elephants? The evidence that he saw on these islands made him think elephants and birds are related. Isn't that what he's saying? I don't want to put words in his mouth. Okay? Now, why did they believe this? Well, Julian Huxley, a very famous evolutionist, said, I suppose the reason why we leapt at Origin of Species, we jumped at it and grabbed that book and that theory, was the idea of God interfered with our sexual mores. Oh, now the truth comes out. We don't want God telling us we can't commit adultery or can't be homosexual. We don't like God's rules. So therefore, let's jump at any theory except God, they'll accept. Sir Arthur Keith, a very well-known atheist evolutionist, said, evolution is unproved and unprovable. We believe it because the only alternative is special creation, and that is unthinkable. We're not even allowed to think that. Darwin observed what everybody calls and agrees happens, called microevolution. I don't like the word. I think it's misleading, but we'll use it because they do. Microevolution says dogs produce a variety of dogs, roses produce a variety of roses. It is observable, it is scientific, it's also scriptural. The Bible says they bring forth after their kind. It is a fact. This happens. It's a fact. There are some big dogs and little dogs. Somebody talked to me yesterday or today, I get so many phone calls, I forget now, but about this, it's trying to convince me about evolution. I said, hold it. We certainly see varieties of dogs. I said, is there any kind of limit? Is there a limit? I mean, do you ever get a dog as big as Texas? Well, no, they can't for structural reasons. Do you ever get a dog as big as an elephant? No, a dog could never get that big because of structural reasons. I said, there are animals as big as an elephant, like an elephant, right? Do you think you'll ever get a dog as small as a flea? There are life forms as small as a flea. Anybody want to guess what it is?
A flea.
A flea. So would we agree that there are limits? You get little tiny dogs, useless ones like yours over there, Bean, right? Or great big ones like, I don't know what the biggest dog breed is now.
A Great Dane.
No, I think come bigger than the Great Dane. Isn't there one? Mastiff or something. Anyway, the point is, there are limits. You will never get them to admit that. I've never gotten one evolutionist to admit there are limits. Because in their mind, dogs and pine trees are related. And dogs and whales are related. Isn't that what they think? It's exactly what they think. I can't get them to see it. It's like somebody flipped a switch off in their brain. And they cannot think. Anyway, we tell about how little kids can tell the difference. Dog, wolf, coyote, banana, which one's not like the others? A 5-year-old usually gets it. I had one kid say, the boy. Oh, well, he's got a point there, okay? But it's the banana. Anyway, National Pornographic said dogs and wolves are related. I agree. It's the same kind of animal. The Bible says 20 times altogether in the first 7 chapters, 20 times the Bible says they're going to bring forth after their kind. Nobody's ever seen an exception to that. So this word evolution has 6 different meanings. And in one of the debates, I think it was with Aaron, he said, we've corrected you and corrected you and corrected you many times, and you keep doing that. You haven't corrected me because I wasn't wrong. There are 6 meanings to the word evolution. 6 levels or stages. I've corrected you guys a million times. You need to listen. Here's the teacher. Listen to me. There are 6 meanings to the word evolution. Cosmic evolution, the origin of the Big Bang, origin of time, space, matter. You don't have a good theory for that. The Big Bang theory is a big dud. It's not a good theory. Okay? Chemical evolution. If the Big Bang happened, it would have only produced hydrogen, maybe deuterium or helium or lithium. How do you get 92 elements? You can get gold and silver and platinum out of nothing exploding? Or out of hydrogen gas? I want to learn how to do that. I want to make some money. Then you have to have stellar evolution, and they don't like when I include that, but that has to be part of your theory. There's a whole lot of stars out there, like a whole bunch of them. Everybody on Earth can own 11 trillion of them to yourself. Those are the ones we know about. We don't even know about the ones that we don't know about. There could be more. But there's enough out there to make the point. There's a lot of stars, 11 trillion per person. Then you have to have organic evolution, and this is all part of the evolution theory. Now, they get upset with me, and they're going to say, we've corrected you 1,000 times. You have not corrected me once because I wasn't wrong. This is all essential part of your theory of evolution. You have to have life get started somehow. How did life get started? Then you have to have macroevolution, changing from one kind of animal into another. One guy's commenting on our YouTube channel, I can't believe it. Had to go to school for years to be that dumb. He said, Hovind has already accepted macroevolution because he accepts speciation. Speciation is not macroevolution. They keep changing the word. Did you notice in that one debate, I kept talking about kind, and he said, well, a clade. Oh, I didn't say clade, I said a kind. I stick with the Bible word, it was a kind. No animal's ever been observed changing into a different kind of animal. And they'll always try to switch the word on you. Different species, different kind, different family, genus. No, stick with the word kind, the biblical word kind, or not a clade. Okay. Number 6 is microevolution. Variations happen. This one is science. The first 5 are religious. They say it came from the primordial soup. I took this off the internet last year. I'll show you the one I took off a few minutes ago from Wikipedia. Primordial soup is a term introduced by the Soviet biologist Oprin. In 1924, he proposed a theory of the origin of life on Earth through transformation during the gradual chemical evolution. Didn't I say chemical evolution is part of the theory? It is. Of particles that contain carbon in the primordial soup. So origin of life, organic evolution, is also part of the theory. That's number 4 on my list. I hit it dead on the head, and it drives them nuts because it exposes how dumb their religion is. Here's Wikipedia a few minutes ago. Primordial soup, or prebiotic soup, is a hypothetical condition of the Earth's atmosphere before the emergence of life. It's a chemical environment in which the first biological molecules, organic compounds, were formed under natural forces. According to the theory, simple organic compounds were created from non-living inorganic molecules, abiogenesis. So there you have the beginning of life. It is part of the theory. Through physical and chemical reactions on Earth's surface. So the so-formed organic molecules accumulate into a rich organic ocean, or a soup. In this soup, simple organic molecules reacted with each other to form more complex molecules, including nucleic acids and proteins, which are the central structure and functional components of all organisms. These molecules then aggregate to become the first forms of life. The British naturalist Charles Darwin. Hold on, Wikipedia. I know they're supposed to be able to correct Wikipedia. They can't correct it on me. Try to correct Kent Hovind's. Just try. They got somebody camping all over mine. Nobody can correct mine. They've said all the bad things they want to say, and they won't let it be corrected. But I wouldn't trust them any farther than I could throw a school bus. Anyway, Charles Darwin was not a British naturalist. Now listen carefully. Charles Darwin, the only degree he ever got was from Bible college to be a preacher. Why would you call him a British naturalist? I agree with the British part, but he was a preacher in the Church of England. That's the only degree he ever got. Why don't they mention that? They make fun of my degrees, don't they? Okay, tell the truth about Charlie Darwin. The only degree he got. Now, he traveled around and studied bugs and birds. Yeah. He didn't get a degree in any of that. He's not a British anyway, he vaguely imagined, SpongeBob, this is for you now, listen. He vaguely imagined the primordial soup as a warm little pond. Yeah, life began in a warm little pond. A coherent scientific argument was introduced by a Soviet biochemist. Hold it. Life starting from non-living material is not a coherent scientific argument. It is pure imagination. They slip this stuff in all the time into the articles, and pretty soon the kids start to believe it. Man, I read it in the encyclopedia. It's got to be true. They do not have a coherent scientific argument. See, science is things we can observe, study, test. If it's really a coherent scientific argument of how life got started, do it again in the laboratory. And let's watch it this time. How come it can happen long ago and far away in a warm little pond, but it can't happen in a $20 billion laboratory with all the equipment you can imagine? Get some soup and make it come alive. I've often said, put a frog in a blender, turn it on. Within a few moments, you will have frog nog. You now have all the molecules to make a frog, all of them, in one place. Now, I want you to nuke it, microwave it, X-ray it. You do whatever you want to do. Do anything to the frog nog. How long will it take to reassemble the frog? It will never happen, will it? None. Even with billions and trillions and quadrillions, quintillions, sextillions, septillion, octillion, novillion, decillion, centillion. It'll never happen. Never. Keep dreaming, SpongeBob. Okay. According to Oprah, in the primitive Earth's surface, I get upset when I talk about this, don't I? I get animated anyway. I have a good time. I love it. In the primitive Earth's surface, carbon, hydrogen, water vapor, and ammonia reacted to form the first organic compounds. Oh, they left out oxygen because they don't want it to oxidize. Talk about a reducing atmosphere. Very important. Yeah. Unknowns to Oprah, whose writing was circulated only in Russian, an English scientist, John Burden Sanderson Haldane, independently arrived at a similar conclusion, 1929. It was the Haldane who gave the name soup to the theory. Whew. This guy's an important scientist. He invented the word soup. Wow, I wish I'd have thought of that. The theory is variously known as primordial soup theory or prebiotic soup theory, an Oprah Haldane hypothesis.
Nobel Prize right there.
Gee whiz, Al Gore. If Al Gore can get a Nobel Prize, your dog should get a Nobel Prize, okay? Biochemist Robert Shapiro has summarized the theory in its mature form as follows. Early Earth had a chemically reducing atmosphere. Number one, that's not true. We covered that on video number 4 of my award-winning video series, which has won quite a few awards, by the way. Video number 4. This atmosphere, exposed to energy in various forms, produced simple organic compounds. No, it did not. You have an incoherent theory. It's totally incoherent. They did not produce anything that would be considered organic compounds. If I drop toothpicks on the ground, is it possible they might accidentally fall in the shape of a few letters of the alphabet? Yes. Do you think if I drop 10,000 toothpicks, I could maybe make a letter H, or an I, or an X, or a Z? You think I could make a B? It'd be a little tough. How about a C? How about the curved letters? Man, they're going to be tough, aren't they, with straight toothpicks? If I drop toothpicks over and over and over and over and over, how long would it take to make a word? Ooh, now we're talking nearly impossible. How about a whole sentence? How about a whole book? If this Oprah experiment, this prebiotic soup, if they made a few little letters of the alphabet necessary to make, life by random chance, that's not proof. Life is like the most complex book ever. Your DNA code contains more information than all the libraries in Conecuh County. These compounds accumulated in a soup which may have been concentrated at various locations, shorelines, organic vents, oceanic vents, etc. By further transformation, more complex organic polymers and ultimately life developed in the soup. Guys, I know you don't like me to say this, but you do believe you came from soup, and the soup came from rocks. It got rained on a long time. Turned the rocks into soup, melted the chemicals out of them, in a warm little pond or a shoreline someplace, life developed. This is pure imagination. This isn't science. This is a religion. Somebody said it's not a religion. Oh, it is. Religion, belief in and reverence for a supernatural power or powers regarded as creator and governor of the universe. What created the universe? Time, chance, mutations. That's what made everything in their mind. They believe this stuff. Anyway, we could talk for a long time on that. Or the word evolution has 6 different meanings, and I don't want to take time to cover all that. Let's see. Let me get where I need to go tonight. So we'll give the SpongeBob Award tonight for somebody who believes they came from soup. You have to have, you got to be kidding me on that one. I forgot to mark which slide to start on for part 4.